are back and we're moving into our final conversation for today. As we said, we're going to get all the details about Belize High School's STEAM Expo. We have with us on set Benny He, who's a junior student, and Sandra Lindo, who is a freshman student. And joining us via Zoom, we have the head of the Humanities Department, Joseph Stamp Romero, and Vice Principal Diana Azueta. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. So a very interesting time coming up. You guys are planning your STEAM Expo. I was asking the students here, but maybe someone from administration, Diana or Joseph, can jump in. This is your version of end of year science fair, right?
Yeah.
It's more than just a science fair because it's going to be a showing of projects that go across the various subject areas. So it's not just science.
Yes.
The collaboration of various subjects, right?
Now, the focus on STEAM has been of high priority for many schools. But of course, Belize High School has definitely taken it to another level. Joseph, let's get you to weigh in here on how it's integrated throughout the curriculum.
Sure. I think that's a great point. One of the challenges that we, I think, took on was trying to do education different once we were in the reality of COVID. Mm-hmm. So STEAM education, approaching teaching our students beyond the actual textbook was something that we thought had to happen immediately. And so when you think about history, when you think about science, math, English, all of those subjects were intertwined into the idea of STEAM, giving application assignments, application activities that were just more than memorizing what was in the book. It had to be something more real, something more tangible. And I think the principal's vision was that students will know that we are still connected, despite the fact that we were at home for most of the school year, or the two-year period.
So how do you guys bring all of this together to be able to present it as an expo this coming Thursday? How do you take all of the concepts and all of the applications and merge both of them and being able to present it? Joe?
Planning. Very careful planning. Okay. Teachers collaborating one with the others.
I think you're on mute, Miss Diana.
It requires a lot of collaboration with teachers, amongst teachers, because then they have to get together to figure out what project will relate to the other teacher's subject, and they have to figure out again how best can they make sure this one project represents all that they are teaching in the various subjects.
All right.
A lot of planning.
So let's get the students to weigh in here. Sandra and Benny, tell us a bit about the amount of time you've been putting into developing your projects.
Well, like you said, we've tried our best to incorporate STEAM into our education, and we've been working on these projects beforehand from a very long time. Starting from Easter, we have been continuously working hard, liaising with our teachers to put together something we believe is definitely worth showcasing to you all on that expo on Thursday. But also many of the details we have planned beforehand, because just to make sure that everything is executed properly and to the best, so that we can just have a great expo this Thursday for you all to see.
Yeah, and we've been meeting up with our various departments after school for the past few weeks, so we could all get an understanding as to what we're supposed to do and incorporate all the projects.
Now, I know you guys don't want to share with us what you're doing individually, right?
It seems like a top secret,
That
right?
would be a spoiler. It'd have to be something you'd want.
Are we
you'd have to
talking
come to
volcanoes here?
see. No, not volcanoes. Maybe something even better.
Perhaps some robotics?
Yes,
Yes.
robotics is one of them. But
Yeah.
I don't want to get into all the details because that'd be me spoiling it. You'd have
Okay.
to see it for yourself.
I mean, you are looking for that wow factor, right?
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
We want to surprise you.
And it's competitive, like you try not to let other groups know your project.
Well, we have certain students who are very competitive about it, and then some of us who are just like having fun like making the projects.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's all of us, the entire BHS community as a whole, coming together to showcase to you all everything that we have done. So something that we're definitely looking forward to.
All right, so go ahead, Mr. Bethel.
Okay. I think the students are learning how very important it is for us to know soft skills more than just content. Because that's the focus now. When they leave here and they go to college, and when they leave college and then work course, they will be required to know more than just content. They need to know a lot of soft skills, things like leadership and creativity and cooperation and collaboration and having confidence in making a presentation. Those are the skills we are focusing on.
Yeah.
How do you cultivate these various skills that you're talking about? How do you cultivate this amongst these students who, while they do have their workload in terms of being able to do their assignments and take their tests and what have you, still be able to develop these kinds of qualities to be able to lead a team, to be able to participate in team activity, to be able to be, you know, either creative or forward thinking in these kinds of scenarios?
It requires the teacher being forward thinking herself or himself. It requires the teacher planning very carefully because attitudes are taught. If the teacher is excited about the work, the students become excited too. Let Mr. Staff explain what he does.
Sure. So I think that's a really good question, Isani. And I think one of the first approaches that in history, for example, they're not separate. They are closely related in terms of what you want to achieve. So the test isn't separate from the project or the project from the test. So oftentimes the assessments are very much connected. So whatever they achieve in class via a project or a process, as we call it here, is one of the same. So we're looking for these skills as much as we might be looking for a how they do well in a test score. The thing that we do here is that we don't see them as separate.
So let's explain to our viewers. We talked about STEM for a while. Now we're talking about STEAM. Why is this such an important focus for modern day schools?
That's a good question. I could talk about in the classroom for us. One of the things that I think, for me, when I look at things, because I see things artistically, I see things creatively, and I look at how people operate within environments beyond the classroom where I worked. And one of the things that I think is important is that students are driven to understand that success is application-based. So they have to know much more than how, or have the ability to memorize. And that's what the world is. Having students who can perform across different applications systems, not just within a school system. But as Mr. said earlier, when you go into a workplace, how do you bring the kind of skills that employers are looking for? When you move from Belize High School to college settings, how do we become the kind of leaders that affect change within your school community and beyond that? So I think we are looking at where the world is, not just where BHS wants to be in a local setting.
Nice. All right, let's talk about some of these skills that you've been learning in putting together these projects. How big are the groups that you're working with?
Well, the groups that we're working in, we separate them into departments.
Okay.
And so I'd say each group maybe has 20 or more students.
And what's it like working along with that many people to come up with different ideas?
Well, it's good because it really helps you to work on your collaboration skills, and it also helps you to work together on a whole and be more open-minded because, again, with that much people in a group, everybody has different ideas. So you really get to see the perspectives of everyone, and you really get to take all of that into consideration and just find a way to put all of that into together where everybody agrees on the same thing.
So there's one project coming out of that group of 20? Or multiple?
It's multiple.
Okay.
It would be it's multiple.
How do you find yourself as a student working in a group setting versus working individually? Because I know that oftentimes that's a challenge, right? We're lone wolves, so to speak, when it comes to doing our assignments and our tests, but we're required to be team players when it comes to projects. How do you maneuver that?
Well, working individually definitely has benefits because you get to choose things that you want to do by yourself. But again, working in a group also has benefits because nowadays, everywhere you go in the workplace, you have to work as a group. So you definitely gain those skills, those
Yeah.
necessary benefits from working in a group setting and being able just to be there, pitching in, helping with everyone. So both of them really have their benefits. So I think that's something that you definitely could see in.
Are
the
you
group
one of
setting.
the team leaders?
No, but I'm
Okay.
in one of the groups.
How do you select the team leaders?
Well, I don't think there's really a team leader because
Okay.
in my department we don't really have, but we have the various groups, and then you have a person, the teachers in the group with you will be leading the group, and then you have the students that will be working with the group.
So how do you decide on, I imagine, you're trying to be as innovative as possible. That always happens when you're going to put something out, especially for the public to be able to see as well. How do you decide on what idea you want to showcase? Is it based entirely on what you've been learning, or is it also going beyond?
Well, like you asked just now, how do we decide a leader? Well, we don't. We're all leaders. So what we do is we all pitch in our ideas. We all come together and we decide on, okay, what idea will give us the most benefits? Because again, this is not only a one-person thing. This is something that the entire group will benefit from. So if the entire group does a good job, then that's the entire group. So it's definitely something that everybody has to think about and be like, okay, what is going to benefit us more, this idea or this idea? And we just agree on that. Or you can incorporate both ideas to have an overall great foundation.
Okay. So what topic are you presenting on? If you're going to tell us your project, tell us what topic or theme, so
Well-
we have an idea of what to expect.
Well, for me, I'm in the IT department, and a topic that I could say that we're presenting on would be robotics.
And for you?
I'm working with the humanities department with Mr. Stamp, and one of our groups will be doing journalism.
Ooh. So there's going to be a newscast, a BHS newscast.
That would be
All
interesting.
right. And so it is an event that is open to the public, right, Diana?
It is
Okay, so
open to the public on Thursday, starting at 9 o'clock.
and what's the prize for the best project?
We haven't decided that yet.
So just do your best.
Yes.
All right. Anything else you'd like to share with our viewers before we close?
I just want to thank you guys for giving the students a chance to go on the show. Thank you so much. It's good to see you, Sunny and Marlene.
Good
No
to
problem.
see you
Same
too,
here.
and looking forward to seeing what you guys showcase come Thursday.
We're looking forward to it.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you very much for the opportunity to have the students speak.
All right.
And I'm sure they will represent us well on Thursday as well.
All right. Thank you so much. And with that, the BHS STEAM Expo is going to be June 2nd, right at your compound here on Mercy Lane, and it starts at 9 a.m. and it's open to the public. That's it for us, though. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back in a few.